Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Watson Tunez, and I'm super excited because today we're going to talk about the Live Beyond You Service Challenge. And we're going to talk about the 5 steps to success. I want to share with you 2 paths, and then regardless what path that you choose, we have one goal, you know. And so we're going to dive deep into the Live Beyond You Service Challenge. So my name is Watson Tunez. If we haven't met, I just want to give you the warmest greeting and welcome you to this journey with my team and I as we take on the Live Beyond You Service Challenge. A little bit about me is that I was born in the Caribbean island of Haiti. I was adopted when I was 6 years old. And after being rescued by a missionary around 2000, I got adopted and brought to America by a wonderful American family. So I grew up in the state of Washington, and just learned a lot. I struggled a lot. And one of the best ways that I found myself, and I found a bridge between the American culture and the language barrier that I was facing. I fell in love with music, particular rap and hip hop and pop. So I blended them all together into what I called pop rap, specifically for humanitarian causes. I founded Beyond Me in 2015, and the whole mission of Beyond Me is to inspire people to live beyond themselves and to embrace a life of service, generosity, and compassion. And our vision is just to create a world that's more caring. Beyond Me is trying to inspire people to end human suffering, to create a better life for their families and communities, and create more uplifting and positive music to help better society. You know, that at the end of the day, that's the purpose of Beyond Me. And that's what motivates me. I built a whole brand, Live Beyond You. The whole concept behind that is to inspire people to embrace a life of service and to volunteer and make a difference in their community and wherever they're at. I love expressing myself through words, through songs, through storytelling. This is something that I love. That's why I create a lot of documentary films. I create a lot of music videos. I have every hand on the whole project for Beyond Me. This is my passion. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I love this. It fills me up, like a cup of water. It just fills me up and it overflows. My cup overflows, helping others and being able to make a difference in the world through my music and humanitarian endeavors. That gives me the biggest smiles. When you come from a background like I have, where you've seen so much suffering and hurt just because you were born in a place that extremely impoverished, not a lot of opportunity. And again, not trying to degrade my country, not trying to have a negative light on it. I'm just speaking from experience and the reality of the harshness that poverty brings. Is something that you want to avoid for the rest of your life. You want to help people live better than where you came from. And so that's been one of my biggest motivation. So that's a little bit about me. If you're watching this video, maybe in the comment section, tell me a little bit about you. What got you intrigued for the Beyond Me initiative? How did you hear about Beyond Me Entertainment? How did you hear about me as the artist Watson Tunez? And the whole Beyond Me squad, how did you learn about us? Tell us a little bit in the comment section if you're able to take a second and do that. Just introduce yourself, say hi, and it's my goal to respond back to you. So reach out. We're here. So let me tell you a little bit of how the Live Beyond You Service Challenge came about, and the steps that I took to be successful as somebody that had to raise a lot of funds because I wanted to make a difference. It all started back in January 2010 when an earthquake struck Haiti. Again, 2010 seems like, wow, such a long time ago, but it's a huge earthquake, 7.0, erupted in the capital city, Port-au-Prince in Haiti, and 300,000 people lost their lives. Over 1 million people were displaced and homeless, and it was all over the news. And one way that it was displayed was through a beneficial single called We Are the World, 25 for Haiti. We Are the World. And for a lot of you guys who aren't familiar with that, We Are the World was written by Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie. And so they produced the records. And the cool thing is that with the help of some other people, they were able to really bring a group of artists together. And for the very first time, they recorded the song. And it was amazing how when people bought the single and the merch that came with it, they were able to raise, nearly $80 million through the single. And it was the first time that I had been exposed to it. And what happened 25 years later in February 2010, a remix was done. And that was head by Jamie Foxx and Lionel Richie. And of course, Michael Jackson had passed since then, so he wasn't part of that project. But it was absolutely beautiful just seeing all these artists coming together, from somebody at that time, Justin Bieber being so young, all the way to will.i.am, Snoop Dogg, LL Cool J, all of these artists coming together, along with so many fabulous singers at that time coming together and doing We Are the World, kind of a remix or a revamp to reach our generation. And it was incredible. It's the first time that I saw how music and charity work could combine together to be able to create positive change. It was so amazing, and it inspired me to use this love of music. At the time, I had been just dabbling into music. And so a friend of mine, Greg Otterholt, who was a local musician from Bellingham, Washington, and he would perform, and my family and his family went to the same church, Cornwall Church, and we met. I met him there, and he did music and everything. And around sixth grade, when I was in sixth grade, I began to show interest in music, and that was the first time I started playing the trumpet. I picked up the guitar, the electric guitar, and the bass guitar. I also picked up the acoustic guitar as well for a little bit. I never found kind of my love for actually playing instruments. My passion and my love really came from writing lyrics and recording and doing the vocals. That was really where I excelled at. And so I stuck with that, and I began to produce my own songs and my own beats and everything, and recording. And I just fell in love with creating music. And at first, my songs really focused on faith-based themes, and then they quickly transitioned into more humanitarian endeavors once I was inspired by We Are the World 25 for Haiti at that time. And so here, it really spoke to me because I'm from Haiti, and here's all these amazing artists that I looked up to in the music industry, all coming together, and Haiti is being promoted. So it was like my first time. I'm like, wow, maybe I can use music to help my country. So with the help of Greg Otterholt and his guidance and a little bit of mentorship from him on how to mix the vocals, how to create the songs, I produced my own mixtape called Operation Haiti. And it was the first time in my life that I really brought together about 14 songs. And I began to just basically little by little would pass out CDs to people, anybody that really wanted one. And then a group of my closest friends and I in high school at that time, along with two others that were also adopted from Haiti. And they have amazing stories. E-Man and Nate Fallis, that happened to be the family that adopted them, were friends with my family. And it was really cool. And at that time, we had moved to Ferndale, Washington. So we moved from Bellingham around 2004 to around 2003, 2004. We moved from Bellingham, Washington, all the way to Ferndale, Washington. And it was absolutely amazing of being able to connect with these guys and growing up together really during our middle school to high school years. And I just wanted to be able, and by the time I was a senior in high school, I wanted to bring a group of these friends, Connor Ford, Katie Broadwick, Allie. I had Pastor Mike. I had my dad, Charlie George. I had I had, and then Katie Brudwick. She goes by a different last name now, but Katie Brudwick and Emily as well, Emily Bunch. Again, both go by different names now. But at that time, we all came together and we wanted to be able to reconnect with our families after the earthquake. And we, meaning E-Man, Nate, and myself, we had biological family still in Haiti. And because we were all adopted, we didn't know what was going on after the earthquake. And I know that E-Man and Nate's family were all in the Port-au-Prince area. And my family is just 2 hours north of Port-au-Prince. And my two older sisters, Evelyn and Betty, they wanted to connect with me. And it had been 13 years since I got a chance to see them. And then along with my biological dad, who at the time, him and I was very scared of my dad. And he was, to me, very like an alcoholic, abusive in a sense. And for me, I didn't have a very good picture of him. So I felt like I wanted to at least get an opportunity to go back to Haiti to see him and just forgive him, basically. And just the last time that I get a chance to see him, for him and I to have a more positive experience with each other, being in each other's presence, rather than, like this negativity that I had as a little guy. And so getting a chance to go back to Haiti and reconnect with my biological family, along with starting a school, along with building orphanages, along with really bringing this team of people who a lot of them had never gone to another country to do humanitarian type of work. Again, sometimes in the aspect of trying to make a difference, we don't know how everything will pave out and the type of difference that we will make until we step out and actually go and experience and make an impact. So we have to go out there and experience and build those connections and work with people that need our help and everything. But not only as just a humanitarian, but just connect with people from a face-to-face level and see how they suffer, see what they are going through, so that we can and see how we can relate to them, and then see what we can do. Before we're trying to solve their problems or help them solve their problems, the goal is just get to know them as people. And that's one of the things that I learned in the midst of this humanitarian type of trip that I took with a group of my friends and I. So once Operation Haiti, the mixtape, which came out around August 2011, when that happened, then I began gathering a fundraising team. And again, that was a group of my friends and church members. A few of them, we all went to the same church together, and we were already friends. So it was really cool to bring all these people together. And we began a series around October 2011 to March 2012. We began a series of fundraising events in a campaign to help us go to Haiti. And we had to raise about $24,000. It was $2,000 for every person going. And we had about a dozen of us going. First thing that I remember was we began meeting together at one of our homes, and we wrote letters. We wrote letters to our family and friends. And that was one of the biggest ways that we raised funds. It was through writing letters to family and friends and enlisting people to be able to help us, and asking them to please support us because we needed that support. So donation, fundraising letter. I remember Emily being one of the core members of our Operation Haiti team, kind of setting the stage for writing an amazing letter to businesses and gathering businesses in our local area to be able to help us fundraise and to be able to kind of lead the charge in that area. Her and Katie teaming up together and writing letters to businesses, asking for donations and asking for them to sponsor this project, this Operation Haiti, as we were calling it. And I don't know how it got the name Operation Haiti, but when you begin a humanitarian type of endeavors, it's really cool to come up with some form of a catchy little phrase that we can refer it to. Um, Emily and Katie came up with the concept of healing hearts for Haiti. And again, that really stuck. If I didn't come up with the concept of Beyond Me due to the college campus that I came into when I was a freshman at Anderson University in the state of Indiana, I probably would have continued with healing hearts in Haiti. But I remembered that our mission expanded beyond just Haiti. And so that's why Beyond Me was a better fit ultimately. And we went with Beyond Me instead of Healing Hearts for Haiti. So the reason why we expanded and went beyond just Haiti was that when we came back from our first humanitarian trip from Haiti, um, we knew that we had to bring what we accomplished in Haiti back home. And so we couldn't use Healing Hearts in Haiti, or just the spotlight wasn't just on Haiti, it was on community. And it was a sense of everybody can live beyond themselves and be part of making a difference in their community, in the local area where they're at. When they step outside of their home, the people around them, that's your community. That's where you start to make a difference. You didn't have to be like us going on a thousands of miles away into an international, community, which is awesome. Haiti is awesome. And places like impoverished places in Africa or wherever you go, international humanitarian trips are amazing. You could call them mission trips or however you want to do it. Outreach programs that are in other places in the world are amazing. But the change that needs to really happen really begins at home, and it begins in our community. And so that was the idea that I learned from this trip, that we needed to come back home and continue that movement here, making a difference here in our local community. And so that's why it became this Beyond Me, the idea that I need to take personal initiative in my life to make a tangible difference in the world. And so that's why it went from Operation Haiti to Beyond Me Haiti. Like, let me take personal initiative in my life and make a difference in my life and in the lives of others, starting with the people that are around me locally. So that's how we got the idea of Beyond Me. So after putting on a series of fundraisers that began with writing letters to our family and friends, the next thing that we did is we began a clothes drive as well. So what we did, we called it a summer clothes drive, and we did like posters for it. We hung out posters in all these different schools. So in our Ferndale, like school had lots of different schools. And so we would go to each school and put out bins to collect clothing. And we asked people to donate summer clothing because in Haiti, it's so hot, we don't want, winter coats and all that kind of stuff. We got over 3,000 pounds of clothes that we took to Haiti with us. And it was like into like 50 plus, duffel bags of clothes. Each duffel bag being about 50 pounds into the airport. And again, that was over 3,000 pounds. So a lot of people really reacted to that positively and joined us in our effort with the clothing drive. And they responded really positively with our letters. One of the third thing that we put on was a beneficial concert we called A Taste of Haiti. So the idea there was we cooked some Haitian cuisine, and we did that to the best of our abilities. At the time, one of my best friends was, Connor Ford, and Connor and I played a lot of basketball together. We did sports, and going to the same high school and everything, and going to the same church. His dad, Pastor Mike, was a children's pastor at our church. And so Connor and I really bonded in our early years when he moved from California to Washington. In the process of that happening, Connor was one of the first members of Operation Haiti to really say, I believe in you, Watson. And sometimes, like I always say, like, it takes that one person to really believe in you. I'll never forget Connor Ford for just believing that this trip, this humanitarian trip that I wanted to take to Haiti was possible. And Connor Ford really believed that. And he had been saving money to be able to go to Haiti on this trip with me. And it was incredible because if it wasn't for him believing in me, I don't know if I would have had the courage to gather this group of people and actually tried to make this trip happen. But it was through the belief of a friend that said, you know what, I believe in you and I believe that you can make this possible, that it allowed me to begin this fundraising series. Connor helped by helping me put on the beneficial concert. And so not only was the aspect of asking people to cook Haitian cuisine, so that people can have a true, authentic experience, Connor was able to link us up with Ferndale's marching band, and which everybody loved, and bringing out the drummers on stage. And I just remember it being very loud. And Connor had come up with, for his senior project, it was really helping kind of bring the beneficial concert together, and the Ferndale marching band, seeing him in his element, doing the drums. He played sports, he did basketball. We did all of that together. We went on youth group trips and things like that. And we really bonded a lot. And it was like, I would sometimes, if we had like a youth retreat, if Connor wasn't going, I wouldn't go to the youth retreat. Connor had to go, in order for me to like really want to go. So, and everything. That's how close that we were. So we wrote letters, we did a clothing drive, we did a beneficial concert / a Haitian cuisine tasting. The next thing that we did was the fundraiser walk. We had an opportunity to bring our community together. So Emily and Katie led our fundraiser walk, and it was a very successful event. And they went from business to business, asking for sponsorships and asking for them to, donate, mugs, water bottles, things that we would need to help bring together the Healing Hearts for Haiti fundraiser walk /1. And it ended up raining on us. But regardless, man, it was incredible to see the community come together for the walk, and just to see the smiles in people's faces, and just coming out and supporting. And whether you wanted to walk or whether you wanted to run, we ended up making the fundraiser walk and /run happen at the track and field of our high school, and being able to have the gym be open for us. And I believe that, Katie Bradwick at the time and Emily, they were able to kind of bring the whole event together. And us as the whole Operation Haiti team, we were there. We were there to support, and I got to run and out in the rain and everything, and not even minding it. I believe we raised a couple $1,000s just through the fundraiser walk and everything, and that was incredible. And that went to our trip. Another endeavor that we did is we partnered with our church, Cornwall Church, and which is an amazing church, and it's one of probably the biggest churches in Bellingham, Washington, is Cornwall Church. And we were able to bring people together there, and we would sell donuts. And so when people bought donuts from us, a portion of the donut sales went towards our trip as well. We took turns as members of the Operation Haiti team going to our church and selling donuts, and bringing in funds that way. So we did more. E-Man and Nate each played a crucial part in helping us fundraise. So E-Man did a soccer clinic. So he got basically our whole, around that time, our soccer team got new uniforms and everything. So what E-Man did is he got an opportunity to ask the whole soccer team if it was okay for them to donate their old jerseys to the kids in Haiti. And E-Man would put on a soccer clinic for the kids and complete his project that way. And it was really cool just to see him step up with already a passion for soccer, and we call it football. There's a huge passion for that. And it was really cool to see E-Man bring a group of kids and then be able to give them jerseys, and set up a little clinic where everybody could play soccer together. So that was amazing to see him and Nate in Haiti. It was incredible. These guys really lit up, and they were in their element. They're very, from the U.S. side, as my friend Connor Ford would say these two are very shy and they stay within themselves. They're very reserved and they don't like to make a scene and embarrass themselves. But in Haiti, they lighten up and they're with their own people, getting them to go back to Haiti and reconnect with their biological roots. You could see um, just the impact, the positive impact that this trip had on them. They not only got to see their families, but they got to go to orphanages and rebuild a school and just see the of like they could make a difference in their community. And I wanted to kind of set a positive example for those guys to see like, look, man, you can make, if you have a goal, you know, you can make your goal happen. But another thing I wanted to set was the idea that we could that they could go back to Haiti and make a tangible difference in their community. I wanted to have more Haitian people do that. And that's a hard drive because a lot, once you have escaped the, once you have escaped the environment, the impoverished environment in Haiti, and that's all you grow up in an area with no clean water, with no electricity, and not knowing where your next meal is going to come from. Who in the right mind, when they could come to America and have all this luxury, who in the right mind is going to want to go back to Haiti and help? You're right. Not a whole lot of people. But I wanted this trip to be an opportunity for E-Man and Nate to see that they could go back to their home country and make a difference. So I wanted to be more than just reconnecting with our biological family, but I really wanted to kind of set the stage and say, look, you can do this. Like, you can make it a mission and a goal to go back to Haiti and keep this going. This is a movement. Don't let this one trip be your only trip where you go back to Haiti and see your family and reconnect with your roots. Like, reconnect with your roots and start making a difference in your local area. So for E-Man and Nate and myself, it was, how do we reconnect with our roots and make a tangible difference in our local area? And our local area was Haiti at that time. But for a lot of our American friends, it was, how do we take this experience that we've had in Haiti and how do we bring it back to our communities here in the US and continue to make that difference? Like Lecrae says, in one of his songs, Dirty Water, you just dug a well in Africa, come back home and boss up. The idea is like, hey, it's not just Africa that needs the help. Like, great that you did that, but come back home here in your own neighborhood and make a tangible difference. That's where it counts. Make a difference in your community first. That's where it really counts. Encouraging people to encouraging people to make a difference in their local community. And that's where the Beyond Me came from. It was like, let me live beyond myself. I have two hands. Let me not just feed myself with one hand, but let me do that, but also use the other hand to give back. And that was that idea. Like, we need to help ourselves, but we also need have another hand, and that hand needs to be for helping others. So it was that type of difference that I wanted to do. So like, from the Haitian perspective, it was like, hey, I challenge you, E-Man and Nate, to go back to your home country and make a tangible difference. So I'm challenging Haitians to do that, to go back. Like, you're in America now. That's awesome. Learn everything that you can. And how about make it a goal? And I'm not saying you need to do this or whatever, but I was just challenging. Can you go back to your community and use everything you've learned in the stateside and start making a difference there? And then with my American friends, it was like, hey, can we take this experience in Haiti, the tangible difference we made, the starting a school, the rebuilding in orphanages, and giving people clothes. Can we take that experience and can we come back home here and model it and continue that movement here locally of helping each other? So that was what I really wanted to challenge this group. I wanted to do more than just a humanitarian trip where, hey, we got to see some people, we made some difference, and then we come back home and we continue to just live our lives the way that we want to. And so this trip was really intended to help really initiate the whole Beyond Me movement and the process of like, let's live beyond ourselves. Let's inspire a lifestyle of love, generosity, compassion, resilience, right? and service. Let's embody that. Of course, it didn't pan out like that, and everybody kind of went their own ways. But that trip to me, that humanitarian trip, meant the world to me because it helped me see that I can make a tangible difference. And I got to practice what I did in Haiti here locally. I may never get a chance to go back to Haiti at all, but I've seen that I can make a difference. Let me come home, like Lecrae says, and boss up. Let me see what I can do in my community to make a difference here. So that's where the Live Beyond You service challenge, the whole concept behind what we're trying to do, why we're giving funds to charities, and then we're asking people to serve to help their favorite charity win funds. That's how that idea came about. It came about because of the concept that we got to make a difference in our community right here, right now, and inspire others to do the same. So after doing a series of fundraiser, we went to Haiti, and the highlights in Haiti was starting a school. I partnered with the same missionary who had rescued me, Betty Snyder. I partnered with her and we started a school in Tufambon, where my family is currently residing. And we just noticed that a lot of the kids were walking up to 5-6 miles every single day, getting up to go to school in the next town. Betty said, what if we could start a school here? They already have a local church, but right now we need uniforms, we need desks, we need some resources to start a school. And we need to be able to pay teachers so that they can continue to keep the school up and running. And our group were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's start this school. And I wish I had kind of been given the opportunity to kind of talk more with the group about how that could happen. But ultimately, I really felt I was responsible to keep the Operation Haiti movement going. And so in an endeavor of helping with the school, that was when I began a campaign when I came back from the stateside of sponsoring the school. And that was going from business to business, asking them, hey, I got a chance to go back, reconnect with my biological family. We started a school and my name is, Watson. This is what I'm doing. Would you sponsor the school? Help us, for $360 a month. Everybody, gets to go to school in my community. And so you'd be helping over almost 100 students, and let alone their families. You throw a stone in the water and you have this ripple effect. That's what you would have through your sponsorships of this school. So I went from business to business and continued to try to rally up support for the school. And I was successful for about several months until Betty Snyder was able to find a church in the stateside that was able to sponsor the school. And then it was just me handing off the torch to them, and they continued to sponsor the school as I went to college at Anderson University in the state of Indiana. So we started a school. That was one of the biggest highlights of what happened. We also went to visited several orphanages. We got partnered with our local church, Cornwall, and they had some things for us to do with YWAM. They also had some things for us to do with Maranatha, which is one of their orphanages that they would sponsor. They had several child sponsorship programs. And I remember John Shaw, who a mentor of mine, he got an opportunity to connect with the child that he sponsored. And it was really amazing just to see him interact with all these kids and specifically the child that him and his wife and their family on the state side were sponsoring to go to school. Not very many people get an opportunity to do that. Compassion International and World Vision and all these big, huge organizations that have child sponsorships in other places in the world. It's very rare that the sponsor, the family in the state side that's sponsoring the child, gets an opportunity to go to that country and actually see their sponsored child and everything. And I felt so happy for him to see the two of them interact. And it was really cool. It was very heartwarming to see the two of them interact and get a chance. He got a chance. He's like, wow, this is the child that I'm sponsoring. And it's not just me, giving money to to Haiti, but this is the impact that is literally being made here, and I'm getting a chance to see it. It was really cool. The trip actually happening was amazing. Flying into Haiti and reconnecting with our families, of course, was a huge highlight of the trip. I remember E-Man meeting his family at the airport and them interact. And he was so happy to see his mom and his brothers. It was incredible just seeing the two of them um, interact with each other. It was like old friends seeing each other again. It was absolutely amazing. Um, just to see what's going on and everything. And It was amazing. It was amazing. They were so appreciative of this trip, of getting to see their families. It was amazing. Nate interacting with his sisters and aunts, and it's incredible. It's incredible the type of impact that this humanitarian type of trip had on these guys. And it was very personal. A lot of the time it's like, oh, there's us and there's them, but in this trip it was not there was no us or them. It was just all family. Reconnect with your family. And then it was amazing for me, just to see my sister Evelyn and being able to hug her and put my arms around her, and just to be able to, I wanted her to feel the love that I had and how much I missed her and my sister Betty and their families, and my biological dad Ilikib, and getting a chance to meet some of my nieces and nephews, and seeing for a while, because I hadn't ever got to see my other brothers. And so I got a chance to reconnect with one of my brothers. I have two other brothers as well, but at the time when I was in Haiti, they weren't available, or they weren't able to make it so they can come see me. So from my father's side, that's his son. And so my other two brothers, my other three brothers, come from a previous marriage that my biological father had before I was born. And then Cece and myself, we have a different mom than they have. And so that's why I don't remember my brothers, because that was a whole nother lifestyle that my dad had before I was in the picture. But my two older sisters, Evelyn and Betty, and getting a chance to see them, that's incredible. That's incredible right there. And it's absolutely amazing just to have a chance to just reconnect with those guys. It was absolutely incredible. I don't know how to describe it when for 13 years you haven't seen your biological family, and the last time that you saw them, you were like 6 years old, and now you're 18. Can't describe it. I cannot describe the feeling of a family and reconnecting with them, and how much it was so important for me to do that. With all of this emotion going up and then coming back to the stateside, I struggled with coming to a life of luxury. And so like how you can have like this thing called like survival guilt. Well, for me, I had a sense of survival guilt because it's like being from Haiti, and being one of the very fortunate ones to get adopted. Not a lot of kids that get adopted. Haiti has over 10 million people. It's roughly the size of the state of Rhode Island. So not a lot of kids get adopted. The adoption process in Haiti is very hard, and it takes a long time. And people have been trying to adopt kids from Haiti, and it's the government, between the US government and the Haitian government, they make it really hard and very difficult nowadays for people to adopt kids. And the reason being is there's a lot of measures because, of course, there's been a lot of corruption, and there's been a lot of not a lot of accountability in the past with adoption. So now they're really putting a lot of red tape on adoption processes in Haiti. So it's very hard. So for me, I personally feel very fortunate to be able to be adopted. And it's incredible to be. And I know I keep saying that things are incredible, but I don't know how else to describe the emotion that I felt and the love that I felt for these people of my own country. Um, when I was in Haiti, I don't know how to describe that. It's as if it's like the same type of love that a father has for his son. It's the same type of love that a mother has for her newborn baby. The people in Haiti, I always feel responsible for them. And it was at that time, I just wanted to help, doing anything. I just wanted my own people in my community to feel the love that I had for them and wanted to help in any way, shape, or form. And I came back home so on fire and dedicating my life to trying to help the people of Haiti. That's what I thought my calling was. And it's still, my calling is to help people. It has expanded and gone bigger to ending, like I talked about, like ending suffering, human suffering and pain. That's just that's my call. And I know it's something that I probably will never be able to accomplish. But that's the call. That's what we're striving so hard to do, is to alleviate human suffering, to help people who are in poverty, to help the homeless, to help those trapped in sex trafficking, to help those who are hungry and poor, to help them see a brighter day, to rise up. In the US, it's so easy for us to build our empires. It's so easy to just be consumed by building an empire, or just consumed with I just work and I come home, I relax, and I go back to work, I come home, relax. I'm doing me. It's so easy for us to be stuck in that cycle that we forget that as we are building whatever empire that we're building, we mustn't forget to, as we're building these empires, to inspire those who have fallen to rise again, to rise out of the ashes and give them a second chance. That those of us who are fortunate enough to be able to not forget those who are less fortunate than us. And it's easy to just be consumed by ourselves. And so I think that's why the message and the idea of living beyond ourselves and embracing a lifestyle of service, compassion, and generosity is so important. And it's always going to be relevant, because as Jesus says, and again, not trying to throw religion at you or anything, but Jesus says that the poor will always be with you. And because of that, we have to love one another. And I'm not talking poor economically. I'm talking about anybody who is in need of anything. And that's all of us, whether we just need love, whether we need somebody to be there emotionally for us. We need something. And we're all poor in spirit in some capacity. And, we might lack riches, but in another area, we're suffering. And the idea is that we would be able to unite together and create a more loving and caring society. And so that's the whole goal behind Beyond Me and the Live Beyond You Service Challenge, is how can we inspire people to live beyond themselves, to care more about others, and just as much as they care for themselves, to care just as much about ourselves as we care for other people. So when I came back in 2012, we were all seniors, so we all graduated, and that summer months was all really diving into the prep work, because I was trying to sponsor the school and make sure that was all good. When I came from Washington State to the state of Indiana and transitioned into Anderson University as a freshman, for me, I was at this very top. When I was at Haiti, I felt like I was in the top of this mountaintop. I had accomplished so much to get to the mountaintop, right? Raising thousands of dollars of funds, going up. I'm in the mountaintop. And then now I got to go down. And when I was going down emotionally, I'm like, man, can I top this? Like, I've already accomplished a lot of the stuff that I wanted to accomplish with Haiti. And I've been able to help and started the school. This is amazing. And So as I was coming to my freshman year at Anderson University, I'm like, man, can I top this? Like, can anything better come out of this? Because there was this thing like, man, this is gonna die because like I'm no longer in Washington. All my friends are in all these different schools. Some of us are in the University of Washington. Some of us went to other states. Some of us are in community colleges. Some of us are just back home. I'm in a whole complete state. So a lot of my friends, we kind of just lost touch over course of time. So I was like, man, how did we do this? So my next thing was just what if I brought another group of artists together and we created another project for Haiti? And it'll go back to this time relief work, because the first one really focused on my community and building relationships. What if I, basically brought together a group of artists and we did a beneficial album? And this time, this went to other communities in Haiti that I wasn't able to help the first time that I went to Haiti. In our first humanitarian trip to Haiti, that was about my community and helping others there and helping people there. What if we were able to help others, to help even more, and, amplify our impact? So that idea became more of a reality when I heard about there was a cholera outbreak in Haiti. And when I started hearing about that and people living in tent cities and writing letters to their family and friends, basically asking for support. And I was like, man, people are still hurting, in Haiti, even if it's been 4 or 5 years after, at this time, it had been almost 3 years after the earthquake, people were still hurting. And so I said, what can I do? So I brought together a group of artists, and one by one, I had to go and start building those relationships and recruiting one artist after another. And we became known as Beyond Me Haiti. The name Beyond Me was the college campus theme at that year in 2013 at Anderson University was Beyond Me. It was based on the book of Ephesians in the Bible, chapter 2, I believe, like chapter 2, verse 21 or something like that. So that was the scripture that they used to come up with the concept of Beyond Me. For me, for some reason, that really struck a chord. Just those two simple words, Beyond Me. And I was like, wow, this really struck a chord, because when we were bringing together all these artists that were already popular, and I kept comparing that to We Are the World, like Beyond Me was going to be this super group, music wise, of all these artists that were at our college campus, and we were going to come together and create a beneficial album. And we were going to sell that, and all the funds would go to help with relief work in Haiti. That was the mission. And I quickly began working on that project. And, for 3 years, I worked on that project. The first year, a lot of the artists that were on campus, they rocked with me for a couple of months. And then we produced an EP. And it was just bringing all these artists together. We would turn our dorm rooms into a recording studio. And then when we basically, there was people were making too much noise in that area, we would quickly go into the School of Theology. So by bringing all these tables and flipping them, on their sides and putting blankets over them, we formed vocal booths. And we began recording day after day, songs. We recorded probably at least 5 or 6 different songs. How I organized Beyond Me Haiti was, the first step was to recruit a lot of the artists in our local area. And I had to find artists that were on our campus that were already popular and they already did music and they already kind of knew what they were doing. And I brought them together and kind of shared with them, here's the benefit, here's the relief work, here's the problem, here are the people we're trying to help. Will you help us in this project? And what I realized about the artists is a lot of them weren't very organized. And so while I wanted to be an artist and to be one of the major players and rappers in this project, I quickly realized that we needed somebody that can organize this whole project together. And so I became kind of the organizer of it all. So we split into two groups. There was the first group was the artists, and then the next group was more of the volunteers that were helping me put on fundraisers that correlated with the music. So the artist group, we would meet in one day throughout the week. So let's say we met on Tuesdays. The artist groups met on Tuesdays, and then the fundraising group met on Thursdays. And so we called that Beyond Me Life. And different people, that way, if you weren't an artist, you could still be part of Beyond Me. You would just be part of the fundraising squad. You would help us put on events in our campus and around to help us be able to raise awareness about what was happening. And so that way, I try to find, and get in touch with people who weren't artists to help me organize this. And so that's kind of how Beyond Me came. Nowadays, how Beyond Me is organized and how that's similar is now we have a record label that consists of the artists, and then we have a nonprofit section, Beyond Me Initiative. So our record label is Beyond Me Entertainment, and that consists of all the artists that I work with. And I'm the main artist in the label, but I have a lot of affiliated artists that do a lot of the hooks, that help me write songs, that do the mix and the mastering. And then I focus on promoting a lot of the music online and through social media. And that's the Beyond Me Entertainment aspect. And then the Beyond Me Initiative aspect is the Live Beyond You Service Challenge, hosting that. So that's the whole thing kind of put all together. And so we came up with that concept. That concept isn't new, but we just added music, and we added kind of a fan base and a community around it of people that would do that. And we began to host it because we got the idea originally from the Super Service Challenge, which we participated in. And then the Super Service Challenge kind of went away around 2022, 2023. And that's when we're like, let's host it ourselves, and let's add elements of music, and let's really combine the whole idea of using the We Are the World model, which consists of a song or an album, right, being sold, fans buying the album, and then having their proceeds go into a charity. So you have this whole idea of music, you have charity, you have a nonprofit, and you have this sort of fans coming together and this community being built around the idea of living beyond ourselves, and not only be generous with our funds, purchasing albums and merch and everything to support a cause, but then you have this thing of generosity, you have service, you have volunteerism, and you have compassion, right? That's all it takes. And those are all core values of Beyond Me. Everything that I'm explaining to you was not at play at first, but we were taking small steps to get to where we're at today. The whole model, why we do what we do, and how everything came together, and why we have what we have, all came from those early endeavors of setting up a campus club and having artists do the music, then having fundraisers, the Beyond Me ambassadors. You could call our fans are the Beyond Me initiators, right? They're the ones that's going to purchase the album, and then they're going to take on the challenge and go serve a local community, team up together in this unity, Beyond Me, right? Form service groups, and they're going to go out, serve charities. And then we have sponsors who are going to help us pull together funds, and we're going to give it to those charities that our fans serve. So, and then you have the Beyond Me ambassadors, really are the ones that are helping us with the fundraising efforts, pulling it all together to create this global impact. At least in my mind, that's the vision that I see where Beyond Me is at. So you always need the music, you always need the charity, and you always need the fans to come along and make this whole thing possible. Even though I was organizing all of this, I got an opportunity to get into the studio with Katie Brudwick, who I had always wanted to do a song with. And then also I played basketball with Caleb Rodriguez. So I pulled him together, and then I happened to have a summer job at that time with Nick, my friend Nick. We were working at Cascade Daffle at that time. And so I had an opportunity with Nick Murphy, my friend. We got an opportunity to bring these, come together and do a song called Reach. And today when I listen to it, it makes me cringe a little bit because you could tell that I'm just starting off with rapping. But it was my first time in the studio. And it's not that like Operation Haiti, the mixtape that I did in 2011, it wasn't that that wasn't good. It was just really, it was me. I'm not trying to impress anybody. It was just me learning. And Reach was like where I was like, oh, there was my learning phase is over. I'm stepping it up a notch, stepping it up a notch. I'm getting better and better and better as an artist. And so Reach was really my first project that I felt really confident about and I could really release. It wasn't that Operation Haiti, my mixtape, those songs had a great message. The production wasn't the best. I mean, it wasn't the best project that I had because your first project is your first project. You know, you've never done this before. So you're still, from a music perspective and as an artist, you're still learning. You're still trying to figure out your voice. You're still trying to, it's very awkward. You're trying to make beats and you're trying to mix it together and things just don't sound very good. It's like a child learning to walk for the first time. You're gonna stumble, you're gonna fall, but you keep at it and you get better and better over time. So I felt like when we recorded the song Reach together in the studio and I brought this group of people together to help me, and Greg Otterholt was there, and it was in his studio that we used, Hook and Pan Production. And it was just amazing just to have that experience of working with Greg from a professional experience and being able to pay him for his time. And it was really cool. And that song ended up in our project, our EP. And then later on, I took it out of that project and I released it under our official album called Long Way to Go. So I'm super proud of that song. Obviously, you can tell I'm just starting out, but I'm very proud of that song because it helped me. It helped me overcome the shyness of not wanting to release my music, thinking that everything had to be perfect and everything. And it really, at the end of the day, that's the message of Beyond Me. You know, the live beyond you. If there's one song that really summarizes it, that tells my story, that tells what we're trying to do, it would be Reach. And so I called it Beyond Me at first, but one of my members of my team, of my music team, said, you know what, this is one of our first songs. Obviously, it's going to be a single, and we're very proud of the work that you did, but don't call it Beyond Me. Save the name Beyond Me for another song, possibly, because we don't know, you know, if we can top this one and create a better song. And maybe we might be inspired to use the name Beyond Me for that song. So maybe call it Reach instead. And then that's how we stuck with the name Reach instead of Beyond Me. But originally it was called Beyond Me. One of the major songs, also in the EP besides Reach at that time, was called The March. And I was super excited because it was my friends Malachi and Alex Hurt. I got an opportunity to team together. And what we did is we sort of did this rehearsal. I called it the stamp. But the idea, it was, we cast out ideas for songs that we could write together. Because when you're in a room with a lot of creatives and artists who are lyricists and they can write really meaningful songs, it's like, okay, what are some of the themes that we need to put in this album together that we're going to do? And so when we would brainstorm ideas for songs, we would come up with some phrase. We call that the stamp. And so when we would assign songs to each other to be able to do them, one of the things that we would do was saying, hey, here's the stamp. So this one's called The March. You figure out what the march really means to you, and you go and you write your 16. You know, a verse is basically 16 bars generally, you know, in hip hop. So you figure out what your verse is going to be about and come and show us, and we'll give you some feedback on it. If we feel like it needs to be rewritten, we're going to let you know that. Rewrite it, make it better. And so, but use the stamp. The stamp was basically, sometimes it could be the title of the song, but not always. The idea is that it was just the catalyst or the spark, really. Another form of saying the stamp was the spark, basically the inspiration behind the idea that we were trying to do. So, but the song, The March, really came about. I I came across some producers online and really liked the sound of their instrumentals and their beats. And so I contacted them and let them know about this project that we were doing. And they sent us some beats and everything. And the march came. The when I heard the thing for the march at that time, Lecrae had released Gravity, and his intro was completely dope. I thought that the intro to Gravity was absolutely dope. So we were looking for that type of feeling, that do 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 do, like that, like we're go left, right, left, like go. So we're looking for a theme song that would make people feel like let's go, let's get up from our feet and march out and make a difference. That was the kind of feeling, the vibe that we wanted with the march. When some of these producers sent me the beat, I was like, I think this one embodies what we're looking for. We're looking for to get these young kids that are at these college students. We're looking to get these college students on our campus excited about Beyond Me. And we're looking to ignite a movement, and getting people to purchase the album, ignite the movement, and be the change. And I thought like the march did a phenomenal job of that. And I wanted Alex Hurt and Malachi Carter, who are the main artists on the track, I wanted them to really write us some verses that would really embody the idea of going out and serving and making a difference in our community. And they just did an incredible job, and so excited for people to listen to the march. And it's a classic. Whenever, if I ever, get a chance to reunite all of our group together at Anderson University, we've got to put on a concert where we bring out the march, because it was, I'm telling you, man, we performed it so many times. We did it for like pep rallies. So we would partner with CAB, Campus Activity Board, which was just a group of students that would lead campus activities and make things fun in our campus. And so we would team up with them, and we would perform that song again and again and again. And we would go to churches and things like that, schools. We would perform that song again and again. And we did a lot of shows at Mocha Joe's, and we would perform and we would perform the march again and again, and it was like march. It was such an incredible song that really embodied the way that what we wanted to do, the type of impact that we wanted to have. Once we created the EP, we found a lot of positive reaction with it. So once we created the EP, and the EP consisted of about 5 or 6 songs at that time. And that class, that 2013 class, I would say 2013, 2014 class that I had, we never got to finish the complete album. It took the next class to come in, and we did another set of songs. And then all I did was to release the album, the Beyond Me Haiti full albums. I took the songs that we had done with class 2013, 2014, and I did the next class that came in right after us, 2014, 2015. We recorded a bunch of songs there, so I just combined those together, and we have Beyond Me Haiti, the complete album, the compilation album. And that the new rappers that came in to play was like Dominique, and Zach was in the first class, but however, he also did some work with us on the second class. And for the second class, we really wanted to make something a little bit more stable. And so we tried to form our own record label at that time, and it proved not to be as successful. And so we wanted to turn Beyond Me into a record label, and that's what prompted me to really want to make this thing sustainable. So that's the main thing. I always have a vision. I don't know if it ever paves out, but at that time, that was the idea that we needed to make this thing sustainable, and having some form of a record label, and our own brand, and selling T-shirts and albums. We're like, man, this thing, was really how it was going to happen. the success came, we participated in the Super Service Challenge, which was we partnered with the Drew Brees Dream and Mud Ministry, Lifting Up Haiti, and several other organizations. And we would do videos, and we submitted into this competition for nonprofits, and we won funding. From there, we won about $25,000 in grant funding for this project through participating in the Super Service Challenge. But then also through our music, we raised about, I would say, close to between close to $5,000 we raised from the actual music and merch. So that's how much money over span of 2 years that we raised. Again, not a lot, but still, like, it made a difference, for us. So that's how it all came together. So it was a way of being able to, like, keep this thing going. So we raised about $30,000 altogether and supported earthquake relief. In May 2014, I journeyed with Mud Ministry, and we went down to Haiti and met with several different communities and documented the work that we were doing. Rebuilding wells, building cisterns to give people clean water from a recycling center. We did that. We worked with Ed and in Happy House. We worked with them to be able to rebuild several schools that had been that had been broken down because of the earthquake. And so we rebuild a lot of those schools, and then we started another school. I worked with my friend Stevenson at the time to begin an ESL program in the community where I'm from, Tufambon. So we began that. That was really cool, a cool endeavor that we did. And we did some other stuff too, but I spent about 10 days in Haiti. And I was trying to just figure out ways to keep Beyond Me going, keep this thing sustainable, keep the momentum. That was the important part. Like, don't lose momentum, keep things going. That was the endeavor that we did. So upon returning to the United States again, after my second humanitarian trip to Haiti, I came up with my third project. And so my first project had been Operation Haiti, the mixtape. My second project was Beyond Me Haiti, the compilation album. And then I'm like, okay, it's time for me to kind of do my own project. And by the time I had a lot of artists that I was originally working with, they had kind of left and gone out and did their own endeavors and everything, which was amazing. And some of these artists, they're doing some of the most amazing stuff, like such as Luke Stafford doing a lot of movies and making music in Hollywood, California. So he's becoming kind of a very big star there. So that's amazing. Shout out to Luke Stafford and everything. Amazing young man, very talented and musician, and just an incredible person. From working with artists like Luke Stafford, and Devin Bridges, Malachi Carter, DJ Get Busy, Dominic Martin, Zach Mo, Alex Hurt. These were some of my favorite artists that were with me at the time at Anderson University, and we would do songs and we would do music together and do shows, and it was absolutely incredible. And I got an opportunity to learn so much from these artists doing this project that I would have never been able to imagine myself doing music hadn't it been for this experience of working with these guys. These guys inspired me more than, the big names like Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, LL Cool J, Toby Mac, Lecrae. Those guys inspired me, but it was really my peers, because you start with your peers and you start trying to want to impress them, and they start to kind of really wanting to bring our game up. So paving the way, through my music career started with these three projects. So Operation Haiti, the mixtape, and then the compilation album that followed, Beyond Me Haiti, really paved the way for me to get into the music industry and begin and have a drive to keep going. The only thing that's different between me and other artists is that I create music for humanitarian causes and to inspire people to get into their local community and start serving and volunteering their time and making a tangible difference. That's why I create music. I don't just create music for entertainment purposes. I really try to inspire people to embrace a lifestyle of generosity, compassion, and service. That was all establishing the Beyond Me Initiative and Beyond Me Entertainment. It was all about formalizing and crystallizing this process and learning a lot from trial and error, learning that this wouldn't work, but this worked here. Okay, so let's remove what's not working and let's focus on what's working. And so that's how the Live Beyond You Service Challenge, why we do what we do today, came about because of those many years. It took me like 5 or 6 years to really crystallize this process that I'm presenting to you today. It took many, many years to do this. And so that's why I can speak from a person of experience, is because I am living what I'm talking about. When I'm in the microphone and I'm talking about different humanitarian causes and I'm talking about just the human experience, I'm living what I'm talking about. I'm not just simply creating songs and being fake on behind the mic. I'm really talking about what I've experienced or the stories that I've heard and things like that. I'm really talking about something real and giving people something tangible that they can have and experience through this music, and doing so in a way that the music can help them make a tangible difference in their community.